abundantly clear is that the 10 years of APC misrule and economic mismanagement has definitely created considerable suffering for the people of this country.
With a shared experience, wide experience in managing the affairs of this country for over 40 years, I've been at the sharp end of the challenges and the policies we have taken as a country to move away from the shackles of the war.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, I joined politics to be able to create an inclusive, fair, free and just society in which every citizen can unleash their potential. My vision is to create a dynamic, expanding economy that will create jobs and wealth for the people of Sierra Leone, the youth, the women, the disabled, a country where the rule of law is respected.
Officially, my name is going to be changed in 3 weeks from Mohamed Kamarimba Mansoure to His Excellency President Mohamed Kamarimba Mansoure. I want to assure you, if you're the most fitted person currently here, the person that knows where to take Sierra Leone, the person who knows how to create opportunities for this country.
I stand as a symbol of injustice in Sierra Leone, as a patriot who has decided that the scope of work that was given to me once upon a time by the people of this great country, defend and uphold the constitution of this great nation. Haven't done that to my best aptitude. I have decided that no matter what are the consequences, I am ready to fight for the liberation of the nation. We have to establish a sincere platform on which we place our people, the center of national development, making them the ultimate beneficiaries of the process. We have to accept the Almighty God as the foundation and driving force.
Let me first of all express a history of AYV's biasness. First, you had an aspirant program where you relatively interviewed only 4 aspirants. I came to your management and brought that to their attention that we had more than 4 aspirants.
Right. Hello, my family. Welcome to Sheriff's Broadcast Network, the place whose I would bring Africa live to whosoever you day. Of course, today now a big delight to we for level go able for come back to una with news, information, and education right from studio number 8, based in Houston, Texas. And of course, we want to start with an expression of thanks and appreciation to each and every one of you out there, especially all with viewers around the world. And of course, you where they put comments them, whether then comments then are good comments or not bad comments, then comments and they help we for improve on the services that we provide now. We want to tell you plenty thank you for all them comments then. Of course, we want to say a lot of thanks. So we not always the same with private messages. Then we not make suggestions to we want to tell una plenty thank you. Of course, if this is not your first time for Canada Sherrick's Broadcast Network or for watch we programs them, we want to take opportunity of this moment for officially welcome you to Sherrick's Broadcast Network, and of course for assure you say you don't make the right decision for Canada the right place. Of course, today we get a package we'll get for bring come to. Now, of course, we'll not say a very historical political activity don't take place in Sierra Leone in the past week. And to be very precise, on Thursday, February 15, 2018, we'll get the first ever presidential debate where about 6 of the 16 political parties, presidential candidates, and begin for take part in that debate. And so we want to start by even acknowledging the one that we think about this idea, the one that we put this idea together. We want to tell them plenty thank you for this kind way we didn't think. Of course, a very important for let we go through them kind political activities, then at least for this is a start, even though we know say we're not able for impact everybody in the country, but it is a good start. The mere fact that the one that we want for lead the country for the next 5 years, we're able for hearing from them on how we side and stand on key issues in the country. And so now a very big thing. So we want to say a lot of thanks to all the one that we organize. And of course, a big thank you to AYV TV, where they in Sierra Leone, where they're able for put this whole thing together, where they're able for broadcasting live, and where they're able for show the whole world. You know, Sierra Leoneans all over the world were able for see the debate, and of course, it was a big deal. So waiting with the do now, so today now on Sherrick's Broadcast Network exclusively, we get for take segments of them debates then they and let we listen them again and then we analyze them thoroughly. Now that we get for do now so today. Of course we get for open the lines. Today we open both the telephone line and Skype line for let you able for call and profile your own views on this debate. Because this na Sierra Leone, now a country where now we all get. So you're not going to sit by and say, oh, I not mixed by politics. Of course, one of the key topics then, when they discuss by this debate, now the status of people that were in the diaspora. Sierra Leoneans were there in the diaspora, especially the one that we all dual citizenship. Of course, when I know say this don't become an issue where all man be the talk about time, plenty Sierra Leoneans there all over the world and be vexed. You know, where the incumbent APC government began for institute or try for enforce the 1991 constitution. So you don't get any more excuse for sit by and say, oh, it's not mixed by politics again. Now they don't bring an issue where they directly affect you. We'll cite some presidential candidates and they talk say that even one for you when a Sierra Leone where they live in the diaspora, let you left who say you day in the diaspora, let you vote for the next set of leadership in the country. I think say that's a very big step in the right direction. So now Sherrick's Broadcast Network, now this will get for do now so today, and we expect that you go able for join we and you go able for continue for watch. So now that what they do, of course, me Ibrahim Sheriff, I go continue for being a host now so until we exhaust this program for today. Of course, one for apologize to for yesterday. Yesterday we'll be engaged in quite a lot of family business. We make not able for bring the live broadcast to but it's never too late. For that one, we go church today. We want for tell una plenty thank you, and of course we know say when I pray for when I pray for Sierra Leone, and when I pray for all man. So let God answer all the prayers them. So for right now, we want for me stick around as we continue for unfold the programs to you right from Sherrick's Broadcast Network. Stick around with us.
Na pressa collabo, doma come mia, bom, nya. Achavekelo, momia, look into my eyes, look into my eyes. Tell me what you see, tell me what you see, baby. Look into me eyes, look into me eyes. Tell me what you see, tell me what you want. Marina, give me that you tumba, give me that you feel it, feel it. Give me that you tumba, oh give me that you feel it, feel it. Give me that you tumba, give me that you feel it, feel it. Give me that you tumba, oh give me that you feel it, feel it. See how they die for you now, die for you now. Baby, you see me, they grace for you now, grace for you now. Baby, me go die for you now, die for for you now. You know they see me go grace for you now. Grace for you now.
Yenyane wale. Biya mayela dinya gbe lele. Kafe lobby wasi abedi pele. Mende oti embele sesa be hele. Gaye poma gatu ba kele. Marina maye sese. Kokwe gwe gujama agama pepe. Mwi fefete unwa muni Dubai. Nyande anything once as it tell me I go buy. You over. Gabulu ya makane. Nyande bo. Muja kopebu muya tamprane. Da itumba de. Fele nyawe. Hemego. Fele nyawe.
Marina, give me that you tumba. Give me that you.
Fele.
Give me that you tumba. Oh, give me that you.
Fele.
Give me that you tumba. Give me that you.
Fele.
Give me that you tumba. Oh, give me that you.
Fele.
See how they die for you now. Die for you now. Baby, you see me, they grace for you now. Grace for you now. Baby, me go die for you now. Die for you now. You know they see me go grace for you now. Grace for you now.
Yo, babe, let me tell you how I did in love. What a good gabble log, I believe to God that they pout. Tagulu afunyele kuda come up from above. The swag, the day, designer then they catch. Marina nyandebo that make collabo they attack. Nunga wolo, I don't colo. Any side they go, baby, they come follow. Now for this love, I don't tumble. Go over. Dole nyamba make a be you caretaker. Don't mama come in here for sure, me not to heartbreaker. You not to not boy, sabi chook. Soup street, not to money killer, is sabi cook. I no regret what sabi you. Now find tin me sabi, then say I sabi choose. Dai tumba de, fele nyawe, sembego, fele nyawe.
Marina, give me that you tumba. Give me that you.
Fele.
Give me that you tumba. Oh, give me that you.
Fele.
Marina, give me that you tumba. Give me that you.
Fele.
Give me that you tumba. Oh, give me that you.
Fele.
See how they die for you now. Die for you now. Baby, you see me, they grace for you now. Grace for you now. Baby, me go die for you now. Die for you now. You know they see me go grace for you now. Grace for you now.
Now press a collabo.
Yes, of course, my family that's na collabo. Of course, now we own brother that one day we start let collabo. Collabo na man where they mix the culture. They mix the culture. Now man we proud of Sierra Leone. Of course, I always like in music. I always like in songs them because this guy is proud of his culture. Now this, now in some of the other musical artists na Sierra Leone, now this that they fail for realize because they want for adopt other man in culture. Either they want for sing like Nigerians or they want for sing like then a Rasta or hip hop. No matter what thing you try for adopt, if not to you. When you try for sing like hip hop, it not ever get for be like way America. Man, when them born in America, they sing hip hop. It not go be that same way. They, of course, you try for sing reggae, it not go ever be the same. So how about you maintain your own culture? How about you be proud of who say you come out? You see, we all the yearn for change. When they say, oh, we want change in our country, we want change in our country. Change starts with us. Now we say now from which the change they start. Not going to tell you say you want change, then you want to adopt somebody else in culture. And so I say kudos to you, collabo. Whosoever you did, you the man with the hunt for you right now. One for bring you come on Sherrick's broadcast network for let us talk about some of the things that in fact I like all that comments where you be make about where LAJ they go cost right now the stadium na salon, which example the one the way they try for set. I mean, we know they admire anybody of this nature. And this man of Fulama, he come up from a good Muslim background. They go tin up na the stage, na the stadium, na Freetown. They cost mami cost, they cost some kind cost there. And you want for level picking an emulator. So collabo, I like your stance. I like what you do. I like the talk where you talk. I listen to them. And so now that make way, we cannot wait to talk to you. Collabo, of course, that's now your song where you sing. Of course, we appreciate you all for that. And so, my family, just like how we don't talk, the historical presidential debate don't take place in the past week. And of course, we all know say it not ever happened since we get independence in 1961. we not don't get this kind organized debate wherein the one way, they try for lead with country for the next 5 years, then bring them together and they're able to ask them key questions on key issues in the country. I mean, even though plenty complaints and they would go around about the debate itself. But until this is not the first time we don't do them, some of we not be ever think say this debate go without flaws. It go without mistakes. It go without errors. We be no say something go wrong. We be no say something go happen. But at the same time, we had hopes in the positives. We were optimistic. We be no say, no matter which kind of thing go wrong, we'll go able for fix them. Because what thing happen when once you do a mistake, the one thing that is important about doing a mistake is for you to accept, for say you don't do mistake, and then take a vow for say forever this mistake what I don't do, I'm not gonna do it again, and then you move forward. But not make mistake, you begin for brag about it and all of that, or they refuse for accept so you don't make mistakes, right? But the bottom line is this debate was a very essential debate. So we'll get for discuss the details of this debate, the opening speeches, some of the talks that we didn't talk on some of the other key issues, the closing remarks. We'll get for listen to the thing and again for them one they will not be able to see the debate. We are bringing it to you again live. And of course, we want to say a lot of thanks to AYV TV and Sierra Network. Of course, Sierra Network, we want to say a lot of big up to you. They do very well also in the media business. We want to appreciate you. And of course, through you, we're able to put clips then together and able for brand council with people then. Because we are in this together. You're not going to ever tell me, say, any raw material where you able for see from Sheriff's Broadcast Network, you want for use them for able for enhance the message. It go be so appreciated. We not get any problem with that. And at the same thing, for the one the way they watch CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, you see say some interview the way they can't give a CNN, you can't see on a Fox, or Fox cannot give some interview, you can't see on a CNN because they are interrelated, that they do the same thing. So AYV TV, Sierra Network, want to say big up to you guys, for doing it for us over here. And so me from them. One for me, stick around as we continue for unfold the programs to you. Stick around with us.
Broadcast Network. News. Sports. Weather. Business and finance. Technology, culture, and more. Tell us your story. Let's debate. Let's stand on issues. Let's defend democracy in Africa. On SBN Live. Sheriff's Broadcast Network. We lead, others follow. Sheriff's
Broadcast Network. Straight talk for change. Sheriff's Broadcast Network. Straight talk for change. Sheriff's Broadcast Network. Straight talk for change. Sheriff's Broadcast Network. Straight talk for change.
Of course, from the Sheriff's Broadcast Network, straight talk for change. Of course, when I all know say we're not straight talk, we can talk now, so we're not deep and no ben. With the talk straight now. Of course, me from them. Just like I would don't tell una, now this we get for continue for do today. Of course, we get for bring on the debate to una. Of course, the debate will take place in a Bintimani Hotel. One for let you just see how the whole setup been look like. Bintimani Hotel. This was the hall whose side that debates they take place. Of course, this is how the hall look like. Inside there, you go see the white stuff that all they see up there. That's now the podiums whose side the presidential candidates of the different political parties. Now they have been team up. We then talk to the nation. I think say that one day now a very important thing. That one day for let we able for see. Of course, that is exactly what it happened at Bintimani Hotel. And of course, me family them at this point in time, we just want for let you know, say, I mean, this is a historical event will take place in Sierra Leone. And some of us continue to be very proud of this very historical event. There is nothing else we can say other than the fact that it was really a good event that took place in Sierra Leone. I mean, this not ever happened at the country. This is not the first time after we don't get independence from British colonial rule. This is not the first time we don't get this kind activity taking place in Sierra Leone, wherein they bring the people that went at the one that we want for lead with country. They actually talk to we on key issues. The only issues that way they part this debate here, then the issues then they, and just like how we don't talk, we be no say it go get issues, right? One of the issues was that we don't know how many people them actually listen to this debate here. We don't know. We are not able to tell how many people that watch the debate, how many people that listen to them. You know, if na Sierra Leone especially, when are the electorates, when are the one that we get for vote for this coming election, because now then are the one that we matter. But looking at the fact, say, not to all man get radio, not to all man get television. So how can this debate really make an impact, you know, for say the people that Sierra Leone we get for vote for this March 7 election, they go able for make decisions based on waiting the presidential candidates then talk, right? And of course, the other issue was that there are 16 registered political parties where they take part in the coming elections. And so plenty of them, about 10 of them political parties not participate in this debate. So we don't know which criteria where the organizers then use for able for appoint only 6 out of the 10. But now plenty of the other one the way they're not able for participate in the debate, then they talk say the one that we put this whole stuff together, including our sister channel AYV TV, they say they don't already mess with the electoral process. They don't already tell Sierra Leonean people then for say out of the 16 political parties, now only 6 now they're important, and because now they then choose for me to participate in this debate. And some of we go stand for reason with them, because in a democratic process, you get for make you get for create a level playing field. There is nothing where anybody go able for explain for say this is not the reason we decide for call 6 political parties and will not call the other 10. Of course, we old man Dwight where they in AYV TV, they try for give excuse for say whosoever you don't see 16 presidential candidates and then at a stage where they participate in the debate where we don't see them. You know, we wait in our United States, we don't see who's a primary election, they can't wait. Plenty of people that it's enough for election where they all they appear on a stage, the whole debate. But anyway, these are some of the topics that we'll get for bring come to now tonight. But before that, we serve as Sheriff's Broadcast Network, we get a special message for you guys. So stick around with us as we continue for bring you the program.
Abundantly clear is that the 10 years of APC misrule and economic mismanagement has definitely created considerable suffering for the people of this country.
With a shared experience, wide experience in managing the affairs of this country for over 40 years, I've been at the sharp end of the challenges and the policies we have taken as a country to move away from the shackles of the war.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, I joined politics to be able to create an inclusive, fair, free and just society in which every citizen can unleash their potential. My vision is to create a dynamic, expanding economy that will create jobs and wealth for the people of Sierra Leone, the youth, the women, the disabled, a country where the rule of law is respected.
Officially, my name is going to be changed in 3 weeks from Mohammed Kamarimba Mansoure to His Excellency President Mohammed Kamarimba Mansoure. I want to assure you, if you're the most fitted person currently here, the person that knows where to take Sierra Leone, the person who knows how to create opportunities for this country,
I stand as a symbol of injustice in Sierra Leone, as a patriot who was decided that the scope of work that was given to me once upon a time by the people of this great country, defend and uphold the constitution of this great nation. Haven't done that to my best aptitude. I have decided that no matter what are the consequences, I am ready to fight for the liberation of the nation. We have to establish a sincere platform on which we place our people, the center of national development, making them the ultimate beneficiaries of the process. We have to accept the Almighty God as the foundation and driving force.
Let me first of all express a history of AYV's biasness. First, you had an aspirant program where you relatively interviewed only 4 aspirants. I came to your management and brought that to their attention that we had more than 4 aspirants.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you wherever you are around the globe. My name is Ibrahim Sheriff, a concerned Sierra Leonean, born and raised in Sierra Leone, attended primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions in Sierra Leone, have been very involved in the national politics of Sierra Leone, either as a youth activist or as an executive in Sierra Leonean organizations, or as a writer, or a radio and television broadcaster. I have traveled throughout Sierra Leone and to Sierra Leone very often, either through announced visits or unannounced visits. I am au fait with current events and trends in our beloved country. Today, I have decided to, as a concerned Sierra Leonean, to talk to you candidly about the ensuing electioneering process that is unfolding in our beloved country once again. A time in our country's history when we shall again uphold the tenets of democracy. I have been inspired to talk to you by the sacred guiding document, the Constitution of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Chapter 2, under Fundamental Principles of State Policy, number 5, 2A, which clearly states that sovereignty belongs to the people of Sierra Leone, from whom a government through this constitution derives all its powers, authority, and legitimacy. That constitutional clause is the most powerful statement which gives powers to us as citizens of Sierra Leone. That sovereignty of our country belongs to us, the people. That it is from us government is derived, and the decision to form government is based on upholding the dictates and values of this very constitution, through which the sovereignty of our country is empowered. I am therefore urged to speak to you today because I am tired of hearing the popular complaints as Sierra Leoneans that, oh, we country not they go before, or the country they go behind. I am also reminded by the saying that we cannot continue to do the same thing and expect a change to happen. In about a few weeks from now, our country will go through historic elections, a moment we as Sierra Leoneans will make a very critical decision that will impact our lives and the lives of our children and the lives of our grandchildren. Some of us do not treat this decision-making process callously. Oftentimes when it comes to such decision-making times, as Sierra Leoneans, we have the history of treating it carelessly, attaching all kinds of emotions and sentiments to the decisions that we make, and at the end we get to very ugly results. Having had some very dishonest and rogue politicians in our midst, and understanding those weaknesses that we continue to exhibit as Sierra Leoneans, especially Sierra Leonean voters, those dishonest and rogue politicians take advantage of our ignorance, emotions, and sentiments to divide us, lie to us, make bogus promises, and distract us from the real issues that are important. After all is over, for the few months or about a year into the new leadership, we start to come to terms with the bad decisions that we made in the just concluded elections. This has been a repeated cycle. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, let us all agree that the decisions we will make in the coming elections will be about us and about Sierra Leone. It will not be about Mr. A, Mr. B, or Sister Y. It must be about us and Sierra Leone. After all, if we are to base our decision on what our country's constitution says that our government must do for us, the decision will be very easy to make. In chapter 2 of the Constitution again, number 6 going down, it has clearly stated thus: the state shall protect and defend the liberty of the individual, enforce the rule of law, and ensure the efficient functioning of government services. The state shall take all steps to eradicate all corrupt practices and the abuse of power. The state shall, within the context of the ideals and objectives of which provisions are made in this Constitution, A, harness all the natural resources of the nation to promote national prosperity and an efficient, dynamic, and self-reliant economy. B, manage and control the national economy in such a manner as to secure the maximum welfare and freedom of every citizen on the basis of social justice and equality of opportunity. C, protect the rights of any citizen to engage in any economic activity without prejudice to the rights of any other person to participate in the areas of the economy. D, place proper and adequate emphasis on agriculture in all its aspects so as to ensure self-sufficiency in food production. These fundamental excerpts from our Constitution emphasize the need for our government to look out for us, to take care of us, and ensure that we live in our country with dignity and decency, where we have our individual liberties, where there is law and order, where we use our country's endowment with natural resources to take care of our needs, manage our economy so our welfare is well taken care of with equality and justice, where our government protects our rights to engage in economic activities as citizens, where we must use agriculture as a way to guarantee self-sufficiency in food production. So the Constitution has looked out for us, looked after us, and has put our interest above all else. It is now left with those we entrust with our country's leadership to take advantage of the immense opportunities created by our Constitution in concert with the natural resources that we have, both human and natural resources, to take care of ourselves. This is where we have always fallen short, especially in the past 10 years. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, many of the politicians we see visiting us today again have resorted to making the same promises they made 5 years ago. We have had promises such as agenda for prosperity. I will run the country like a business. We will provide free health care. We will guarantee food security. We will provide a free education. The list goes on and on and on. But what is lacking in those promises is the word how. These politicians have failed to tell us how they are going to make all of these promises happen. We have also seen many of the political parties dishing out monies, alcohol, drugs, t-shirts, hats, and so on to our people, lulling them into campaigning for them, sometimes violently and sometimes with malice. Worst of it all, we have seen where attempts have been made to divide us, to set us against each other. These actions employed by some politicians are deliberate actions because they are meant to help them achieve their own selfish and greedy personal agendas. Those agendas have nothing to do with progress in Mama Salone. My brothers and sisters, in these elections, you have the moral obligation to yourself, regardless of which political party you support. We have an obligation to work together, stay united, disallow violence, and encourage peace. We have an obligation to ask ourselves very honest questions. From 2012 to 2018, has our conditions improved, or have our conditions improved? Have you been gainfully employed and have had a steady means of income? Or we have just been jobless and living in hopelessness and despair? When our family members get sick, do we get instant care for them? Or do we have adequate facilities, health facilities that treat them without any burden to us? Or people continue to die of very minor diseases in our country? Do we and our family go to bed well fed? Or majority Sierra Leoneans still go to bed hungry? Are we able to pay for our education or the education of our family members? Are we able to pay for their education? Or very intelligent Sierra Leoneans are dropping off the school not because their desire to pursue or to continue with their education diminishes, but because they cannot afford the cost of their education, especially at tertiary level, because of their poor financial backgrounds. If your answers to these questions are negative, then it is time that we wake up. It is time for us to stand up for ourselves. Brothers and sisters, in these coming elections, we will be bold enough to cast out some and to cast in some. We must never shy away from the truth. or rather allow ourselves to be intimidated by anyone, not even government. We must be vigilant, though peaceful, fearless, though non-violent. And we must stand together in this regardless of where we support or for who we support. In this fight, there is a tyrant, and that tyrant has a history of intimidating voters, perpetrating violence, and rigging elections. Let us say to them that those days are a thing of the past. Let us stand tall and tell them that this election will be free, fair, transparent, credible, and peaceful. We gave them 10 years to solve our problems. They failed. We gave them 10 years to provide jobs for our youth. They failed. We gave them 10 years to provide adequate health care for our people. They failed. We gave them 10 years to create an enabling environment for free and or affordable education, but they failed in that too. Instead, they brought us suspicious Ebola virus disease, squandered about $14 million of the money that was meant to cure our people. At the end of the day, 4,000 of our people perished. They embarked on costly cosmetic infrastructural development, leaving us with piles of death. They instituted an austerity measure that brought untold suffering on our people. They have allowed corruption to take a grip of our country. They have interfered into the works of the civil service and the judicial system of our country. They have reduced our government institutions into disrepair. They have plunged our country into further poverty and squalor. They have divided our people, and they have shaken the pillars under our fragile democracy. So for them, I mean the All People's Congress, it must be a big no to them in this election and many other elections to come. We need more than 20 years to repair the damage caused by the APC. So APC, wanna go relax first. To the Sierra Leone People's Party, the oldest political party in Sierra Leone, the party that negotiated independence for Sierra Leone. Yet again, the people of Sierra Leone seem to place confidence in your leadership abilities. We say so because of the massive turnout of our people we see on the streets of Sierra Leone each time you come out. Yet, your record is still under the radar for little or no opposition you provided during the 10 years that you served as the country's main opposition party. While serving as the country's main opposition party, you failed to stand up to the APC government on key violations of our constitution, on ethical violations, and on corruption, on nepotism, on dictatorship, and so on. For all the actions which the APC engaged in for 10 years, and which the people are now condemning them for, they say, you, the SLPP, you fail to call their names on those actions. Yet, the people of Sierra Leone, being very grateful and resilient, people do understand as well that you are on record for solving Sierra Leone's problems. You did it in the 1960s, in the mid-90s, and to the early 2000s. They think you can do it again. However, with the emergence of very organized new political parties like the National Grand Coalition, the National Grand Coalition, the Coalition for Change, the Alliance Democratic Party, those chances are being threatened. Let me therefore speak to the new political parties. First off, thank you for your robust entrance into the political discourse in Sierra Leone. Your emergence and the messages you pass on to our people have created so much awareness among them that it is almost like a civic education 101. We thank you for that. I must, however, mention that in as much as you seem to be changing the political landscape in Sierra Leone, but you are not there yet. Of course, you will take away votes from the two main dominant political parties, the APC and the SLPP, but you will certainly not form the next government of Sierra Leone. What is important about you, though, is your clear resolve to get the APC out of the reins of governance for good. Matter of fact, the resolve of all other political parties in Sierra Leone. When the APC is voted out, you will go down history for playing a huge role in making it happen. And so for that, we say thank you to you. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, let me conclude with a word of courage that even though our leaders have violated our constitution consistently and persistently, that we must not give up on our constitution, which is the sacred document guiding us as a country. The Constitution of Sierra Leone was designed to look out for us, look after us, protect us, save and secure us from all evils. It was designed to create hope for us, to be our guiding principle. The Constitution of Sierra Leone was designed to provide the platforms for solving our national problems. In that Constitution, Chapter 2 again, under Fundamental Principles of State Policy, number 6B, states clearly that the security, peace, and welfare of the people of Sierra Leone shall be the primary purpose and responsibility of government, and to this end it shall be the duty of the armed forces, the police, public officers, and all security agents to protect and safeguard the people of Sierra Leone. To that end, therefore, it continues to be the responsibility of the government of Sierra Leone under His Excellency Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma to provide us with security during the coming elections, guarantee our safety, ensure a free, fair, transparent and credible elections, and ensure that our poor welfare remains as it is as we get a new government. So remain strong, focused, energized, attentive, and peaceful. Let us ensure that the elections are violence-free. Let us not give them any reason to push the elections to a future date. Let us remain the country that we are, built on the premise of unity, freedom, and justice. I thank you all.
Abundantly clear is that the 10 years of APC misrule and the economic mismanagement has definitely created considerable suffering for the people of this country.
With a shared experience, wide experience in managing the affairs of this country for over 40 years, I've been at the sharp end of the challenges and the policies we have taken as a country to move away from the shackles of the war.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, I joined politics to be able to create an inclusive, fair, free and just society in which every citizen can unleash their potential. My vision is to create a dynamic, expanding economy that will create jobs and wealth for the people of Sierra Leone, the youth, the women, the disabled, a country where the rule of law is respected.
Officially, my name is going to be changed in 3 weeks from Mohammed Kamarimba Mansoure to His Excellency President Mohammed Kamarimba Mansoure. I want to assure you, if you're the most fitted person currently here, the person that knows where to take Sierra Leone, the person who knows how to create opportunities for this country,
I stand as a symbol of injustice in Sierra Leone, as a patriot who has decided that the scope of work that was given to me once upon a time by the people of this great country, defend and uphold the constitution of this great nation. Haven't done that to my best aptitude. I have decided that no matter what are the consequences, I am ready to fight for the liberation of the nation. We have to establish a sincere platform on which we place our people, the center of national development, making them the ultimate beneficiaries of the process. We have to accept the Almighty God as the foundation and driving force.
Let me first of all express a history of AYV's biasness. First, you had an aspirant program where you relatively interviewed only 4 aspirants. I came to your management and brought that to their attention that we had more than 4 aspirants.
Right. Okay, so me fam with them once more. We want to say a lot of thanks to you guys. Of course, you know, as citizens of Sierra Leone, we serve now we own small message that we'll decide for send to we own people them. Of course, every Sierra Leonean get an obligation for do something like that. Whether you do them the way you do them, or you pick up the phone and call family them back home, you talk to them about waiting this election mean to them, waiting at the value of this election. I think it's very important for let we all put your hands on deck, you know, for let we able for help our country for move forward. And so that we do, and hopefully, I know say not to all man go agree with we, not to all man go like what we do, but you know, who knows? I mean, other people in the way they like what we do. But first of all, we want to say a lot of thanks to una all for way una they continue for following. And so next, what we can do now? So now with the first of all, you know, bring you an exclusive coverage of the debate will take place, the presidential debate in the country. Of course, we will start with, first of all, coming to terms with the fact that there are some political parties in the country where they don't feel good at all. In fact, they even make an attempt for take the organizers of the debate to court for meddling into the electioneering process in the country. And you know, anybody where they think fairly, you go on for stand with them people and they, you know, even if you know they support them as a political party. Because waiting at the meaning of democracy, the democracy, meaning of democracy is government of the people, by the people and for the people. Now, anything, any activity where you want to undertake during a democratic process, wherein people that they compete, 16 political parties in the country, you want to make sure say you include them all into any of those activities. You don't want to put them on the side. There is no explanation where you go give. So either you include all man inside or you don't do it. But once you decide say you get for do them, you get for include everybody into it. You know, so now that's not the thing way then they blame the AYV TV for way now the main you know media house the one the way start all this process and bring in some other Sierra Leone organizations, you know, for Medendoam. So let's listen to the presidential candidate of the National Alliance, National Democratic Alliance, one of the NDA, Mr. Mohammed Siba, how he charged, you know, AYV TV on waiting and do with regards to how they left some political parties then out and how they encourage some. Stick around.
Sherrick's Broadcast Network. Straight talk for change. Sherrick's Broadcast Network. Straight talk for change.
Has been coverage in this country, but we understand that you were a bit disappointed, especially not being in the 6 presidential candidates being chosen by AYV and Slash for the great presidential, debate. Has that been resolved now?
No, it has not been resolved. I think AYV dropped the ball. AYV has demonstrated a lack of integrity.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Let me read, if you don't mind, the agreement that we signed on March 9th. I, Mohammed Siba, acknowledging the Creator, God Almighty, and seeking divine direction for the benefit of the people of Sierra Leone, recognizing that the executive authority of the Republic of Sierra Leone is entrusted to a democratically elected leader by and on behalf of the citizens of Sierra Leone, cognizance of the inalienable rights of the citizens of Sierra Leone to objectively assess the agenda and policy position of the individuals upon whom they bestow executive authority by democratic investiture, affirming my unequivocal commitment to fulfilling my obligation by presenting my candidature to the people of Sierra Leone whom I seek to lead. On this day, the 9th of January 2018, in the presence of my fellow flag bearers and stakeholders in the electoral process in Sierra Leone, confirm my participation in good faith and in the interest of entrenching issue-based politics in our democracy. The Sierra Leone Decide 2018 presidential debate proposed to be held on the 15th of February 2018 at the Bintumani Conference Hall, Freetown, produced by AYV.
All right.
This document has been reneged by
Yes, we
AYV.
understand. Yes, okay.
And so I am questioning the integrity of AYV.
Okay. Mr. Ba, if I may come in quickly, do you believe that AYV has given all political parties an open playing field for you to articulate your views even before, campaigning began? And
No.
even you haven't?
No.
Why?
Let me first of all express a history of AYV's biasness.
How?
First, you had an aspirant program where you relatively interviewed only 4 aspirants. I came to your management and brought that to their attention that we have more than 4 aspirants. I spoke with Tony about the matter. He apologized and he said that you would be more inclusive. Secondly, you had a mayoral debate. You excluded my party, you excluded the other 16 political parties. And now there is a continuous pattern by AYV to discredit one of the third oldest political party in Sierra Leone.
Mr. Ba, in the United States of America, wherein you have been working for several years, we have political parties in there, but when it comes to the debate, you only had Madam Clinton and Donald Trump, okay? In the interest of nationalism, don't you think that maybe taking into consideration that we have 16 political parties, I know you're not a broadcaster, and we do understand, your feelings, obviously, because it would seem as if nobody is crediting or nobody is taking your party seriously. It's taken into consideration you have been in politics for a very long time.
Okay.
Couldn't you say that it would be prudent for you not to put this situation aside, but think of AYV as one of the independent media houses who, since we just started broadcasting, than all the other media houses who started broadcasting, because wouldn't you at least acknowledge us for our independence in serving the nation and serving you, the political parties? Well,
First of all, you made a bad example. In the United States, we have 2 major political parties there. In Sierra Leone, we have 17. So that's
17 major political parties.
17 political parties that are contesting for the presidential election. So there is no equality in terms of comparison.
That is why I brought in
now the point about AYV. This is why I am in this race, because in Sierra Leone we have this culture of preferential treatment.
What do you mean by that? We have
this culture where it is this or it's that. Look, when you talk about the political dynamic in Sierra Leone, it is not only APC or SLPP. Now, I was on Star Radio yesterday. Part of the criteria that you guys have established is that the political parties must have participated in the 2012 election. The NGC and C4C did not participate. When you look at this document, C4C is not part of this document. Even CPD is not part of this document. If I may come in, Mr. Barr. Let me finish, Dwight. Let me finish. So the point here is, I am in this race because we need to stop what they call this kukujumuku, We need to.
Don't you think? Excuse me,
Mr.
Mr. Barr. Don't you think?
We need
don't
to
you
make sure
think?
we
Don't,
provide
don't you think that is? Don't you think that is a very
everybody.
strong adjective to use when you say kukujumuku? Because excuse me, apart from the issue that political parties should have participated, there were other criteria which they put with regards to, establishing who would participate. I do agree, or we do agree with you, and in management has said that they would discuss this with you, that you had been calling at the initial stage. But as you know, AYV came up with this debate. Let me tell you now. Okay. At least you can have an understanding, and the whole public is watching. If not, we wouldn't be creating a platform for you to express yourself. If we had anything bad against you,
that opportunity.
Okay, so can you? I know you have another platform.
Okay, we have another platform as well.
So if you can understand, Mr. Barr, let me put it to you that apart from that, there were other criteria which they put with regards to how many councillors or member of parliament were represented by your party. Countrywide, that was another...
but this is not a parliamentary debate. We are talking about a presidential debate.
The parties...
What AYV and the partnership have done, Dwight, is you are telling Sierra Leone that we have 6 political parties in this country, that the people have to make a choice. You have denied the NDA, you have denied NPD, you have denied 6 political parties, even more, the opportunity to have a platform to discuss the issues affecting Sierra Leone. So what you are doing, you are influencing the outcome of the election, and I think that's very undemocratic.
Are you aware that as broadcasters, we cannot have 16 presidential candidates? Okay. On the same platform, and we have decided that we will do a recording of the other presidential candidates, and their recordings will be played, and people can.
That is unacceptable, Dwight. That is very unacceptable. Here's the point. First of all.
But do you agree that? Excuse me. Before that, do you agree that?
Okay, so me famudem that's Mr. Mohamed Siba, presidential candidate of the National Democratic Alliance, NDA, one of the oldest political parties in Sierra Leone since 1991, multi-party, democracy in the country. Now, the thing we not able to understand, first of all, I want to say a lot of thanks to both AYV TV and Mr. Mohamed Siba. I want to tell AYV TV plenty thank you, because then young criticism, when they criticize them, they decide for ARM, then decide for broadcaster. That is very fair of them. And in fact, now that will all for they do. You know me say now only something where they favor you now for go on the air. If anybody, now me could encourage people that for me they call into the station, okay, they open the lines. For me, you say anything about what you would do what you know like. Let we able for argue them out. I also want to say a lot of thanks to Mr. Mohamed Siba for calling out, AYV TV on Waiting and Do, and all the other organizers of the debates in the country, right? Now, here is the thing here. I don't know Waiting make way Dwight, na AYV TV, they continue for talk here say, oh, na 16 presidential candidates, so we cannot have all of them on the stage. I don't know who side pulled that idea from, because that idea is not even the old water, because we don't see plenty time who side, political parties and so many presidential candidates in those political parties, then they actually go out there and then they stand at a podium, then they stand on the stage, and then they hold a debate. So if Dwight they tell we say the resources that not been there adequate enough for me to able for put all the 16 presidential candidates on the stage, for me to able for do what they do, then that is understandable. But then in a democracy, who say you don't talk say you want for you want for bring a debate like this. This is competition right here, because the essence of the debate is for people of Sierra Leone. Then when they vote for this election coming, for me they able for see the people that way they get for potentially vote for me they hear from them, for me they know who side they stand on the issues that the country, for me they know that. But if you don't make now, you don't choose only 6 of them political parties them, and then you don't leave 10 of them political parties them out, then what message is that sending out? So no matter waiting Dwight they try for, even I mean I've been Dwight at this position, all I can say is apologize to Mr. Mohammed Siba, try for acknowledge, say there is a mistake, and take a vow for say this mistake not gonna happen again. Because plenty of we know say this is not the very first debate where they take place since 1961 among presidential candidates there. So we knew that this debate will not go without flaws. We be not say it not go without errors. We be not say it not go without mistakes. But the thing that is good about this is for you to acknowledge, for say, we have made a mistake. But when you the all you grant, you they try for defend, waiting AYV TV don't do, then you know all water. AYV TV, you know, with sister network, we get high admiration for una. Una don't elevate the media business in a salon. We love that. But on this very issue, una blunder big time. And Dwight, you know they do AYV TV any justice by further trying to defend waiting when I do to all other political parties. Because just like how Mr. Mohammed Siba talk, you guys have meddled, either directly or indirectly, when I don't meddle into this democratic process. When I don't tell Salon people and say, among the 16 political parties that will they contest for this presidency or for form the next government of Sierra Leone, now only 6 of them now they're important. Now only 6 now then are the main one them. So when I not even worry about the other 10. That's what their exclusion from this debate now that kind of message they send. And I know say Dwight, you're an educated man. And you know Dwight, the message where you send about, you know, waiting to happen in America. I don't know if you can visit America frequently or you understand. Because it talks say by the past presidential election as now United States, now only Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump now they no more been in the debate. Now because after when the primary election done, I don't know if you be see the primary election, see how many flag bearer aspirants they be get for TNAP for the inside the Democratic Party, and inside the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and see which kind of debate they be on at then stage. Then they, at the end of the day, they came up with only 2, you know, one on the Republican side, one on the Democratic side, right? Because now the 2 major political parties and the one and the way they participate in politics now, that's why now only 2 of them you see. But that is not a good example for me. Set for what don't happen at Sierra Leone, right? And so, my family, I don't know, but I think say this was a blunder on the part of the AYV TV and all the other organizers. I don't know which explanation they will give because they say they record the other political parties, then the presidential candidates or spokespeople, they record them voices, and I don't think that they get for go play for let people they listen. I mean, is that commensurate to asking direct questions to the presidential candidate and listening to them to say something? I don't think it was fair. So that was very unfair. Anyway, so moving forward, we want for assure viewers then for say, on the day of election, we get for dinner so live. We get for broadcast live. Of course, we hear from we reporters then from different parts of Sierra Leone. They go report live now so and so we go to follow the election. Thank God most of them don't get these 4G networks now. Then go able for connect with we live via Skype and go able for the see what they go on at the country live. So I see somebody comment like that. If we get for make it possible, yes. The answer is yes. We are going to be here live on election day. All right, March 7. And so Naime can tell family and say if you get chance, go make small donation. You know, because then brother we then get for travel all over the country for give them news there so where they watch. You know, if you're able to put $10, $20, you know, that's go help a lot. And for me, you do that, they just go na gofundme.com/SBN support fund. That's where you need to go. gofundme.com/SBN support fund. Go there and put anything where you get. Because we send out for them at least, you know, let them say get something. And we get for spend money for me then take bike, you know, then camera they were then old for me then able for put internet, then gadgets them, you know, then may they eat food, may they left small tea with their family then, you know. So if you admire what they do, be part of this. Not just say, oh, please be live on election day. But what are you doing also to help the process? All right. So now that's we'll go on for. So now we get for move on to the opening speeches, you know, waiting all the candidates then talk by the opening speeches, right? And so, my family, stick around as we bring that to you live right now.
The order in which you balloted. Alhaji Musa Tarawali of the Citizens Democratic Party. You have 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Moderator, distinguished guests, listeners and viewers, greet you all. Assalamu alaikum. I want to thank God and the organizers of this great event for establishing a platform which I stand to present my inspiration, my experience, and vision as the formula for our growth. I developed this vision at age 16, that of an experienced and seasoned politician. We have to establish a sincere platform on which we place our people, the center of national development, making them the ultimate beneficiaries of the process. We have to accept the Almighty God as the foundation and driving force. There is no way we can develop Sierra Leone without the inclusion of our people and that of the fear of God. The inclusion of our people will provide them the capacity to be responsible to government.
And at this moment, I'd like to turn now to Dr. Samura Kamara of the All People's Congress.
Thank you, sir. Welcome back to your motherland. Good evening, Sierra Leoneans, family, and I would you. Humble them, I, Samura Kamara, stand before you tonight to let you know that I am very much ready and determined to lead our nation on a shared journey to prosperity. I'm doing so humbled and privileged with the honor bestowed upon me by the All People's Congress Party as their presidential candidate for the 2018 general elections. I'm taking up this responsibility with a humble beginning, with a shared experience, wide experience in managing the affairs of this country for over 40 years. I've been at the sharp end of the challenges and the policies we have taken as a country to move away from the shackles of the war, Ebola, and the mudslide, because I am sure you, by my side, to move Sierra Leone from the solid foundation we have as a party built for the. I sat behind any from live broadcasting board. I'm going to build that.
Samura Kamara of the All People's Congress. Let's turn now to retired Brigadier Julius Madabio of the Sierra Leone People's Party. Your opening show.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Today, Sierra Leone is at the crossroad. After 57 years of independence, this great nation is still unequal and undivided and a divided society. We have not fulfilled the development aspirations of all Sierra Leoneans. So this election is actually about the future of this great nation, the future of our children, and the future of our children's children. What is now abundantly clear is that the 10 years of APC misrule and economic mismanagement has definitely created considerable suffering for the people of this country. From Kamakwie to Pujeho, from Kono to Freetown, and everywhere, people are suffering under the weight of corruption and the mismanagement of the All People's Congress. I have seen it at first hand, from Falaba to Kedima and from Kailan to Port Loko. The people want change. The people are tired of the suffering of paying for a bag of rice at 200,000 from only 60,000 in 2007. The people want democratic change to end their suffering. But what type of change do we want for this great nation? What type of change do we want for our children's future? What type of change?
Now to Mr. Mohammed Kamarimba Mansare of the Alliance Democratic Party.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, I greet you with humility. There's light end of the tunnel. Definitely light at the end of the tunnel. The 19th of January, I completed nominations with NEC to be a presidential candidate. Officially, my name is going to be changed in 3 weeks from Mohammed Kamarimba Mansare to His Excellency President Mohammed Kamarimba Mansare. I want to assure you, if you're the most fitted person currently here, the person that knows where to take Sierra Leone, the person who knows how to create opportunities for this country, is me. Every Sierra Leone will agree that my fellow colleagues here, they've served this country. Their records, I cannot, as the next 2 hours, they will tell their own records. But I can show you, come March 7th, I'm going to deliver this country with real opportunities and make this country a better country. I want to thank you all.
Dr. Kande Kole Yunkela of the National Grand Coalition.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, I joined politics, be able to create an inclusive, fair, free and just society in which every citizen can unleash their potential. My vision is to create a dynamic, expanding economy that will create jobs and wealth for the people of Sierra Leone, the youth, the women, the disabled, a country where the rule of law is respected, where we have an effective, efficient, neutral justice system, and where we protect the rights of the future generation to the mineral wealth that the Almighty gave us. Salon people, atima before una today with the grace of God, for tell una say, I join politics, for can fight for the common man. For that mommy where they go sell na market, enable go bet with better money in a house. For that teacher where not they getting salary, for that nurse where they not they pay, that ex-serviceman where they don't suffer for this country, but they not able to live a good life. I come for Hepuna, now that make I come into politics. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I thank and congratulate the organizers for starting a new epoch in our history. Thank you very much.
Final, the 6th presidential contender at the presidential debate 2018 here in Sierra Leone, and that is Alhaji Chief Samuel Samsumana of the Coalition for Change.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Moderator, fellow contestants, fellow Sierra Leoneans, I say good evening. It is an opportunity to be here again once more, and I say thanks be to God Almighty for giving me this opportunity. I stand as a symbol of injustice in Sierra Leone, as a patriot who has decided that the scope of work that was given to me once upon a time by the people of this great country, defend and uphold the constitution of this great nation. Haven't done that to my best aptitude. I have decided that no matter what are the consequences, I am ready to fight for the liberation of the nation. Not only the political emancipation of this, but also the economic emancipation. I stand today remembering a young man back there, young man who asked me that he needs education. Stand here today recalling a 5-year-old junior fuller who has prostrate because of tumor of test. And I stand here today as evidence of this side who's saying, what are the benefits that this country owes? What future of free country? And I say, I stand as an identity for the economic emancipation, protector of
Al-Haji candidate.
All right, of course, me family, of course, now the opening remarks, then the one and the way the candidates then give, of course, started with Alhaji Musa Tarawali of the Citizens Democratic Party. In your own opening speech, more based on the people, you know, doing things for the people, or in your own governance policies that, according to him, for be centered around the people, you know, and then it invoke the presence of God a lot into his own, modus operandi, right? And so the APC, of course, Dr. Samora Kamara want for keep the agenda for prosperity of Anes Baikoroma. Everything we talk, now for just continue from Wusai, Anes Baikoroma don't stop, and for continue from there, right? Of course, the SLPP, retired Brigadier General Julius Madabio, in your own agenda now for completely undo waiting APC don't do. For the past 10 years, it say they don't do plenty thing, then corruption, this, that. So in get for undo each one of them, right? And then of course the ADP way now Mohammed Kameremba Mansoure, it is all about confidence. It gets super confidence for say on March 7, 2018. A name get for change from Mohammed Kameremba Mansoure to His Excellency President Mohammed Kameremba Mansoure. They get confidence in that as very much. And of course, instead they assure the people that for say, a get for deliver. It go deliver on each one of his promises that way they make. Of course, the NGC way headed by Dr. Kande Koleyum Kela, of course, in stand for change. Na Sierra Leone, a change where the people then go believe in, where na a change where go bring jobs for the people, create wealth for the people, ensure that there is rule of law, for mami then when in the markets, may they able to realize something, the teacher where they teach may able get salary, and of course the nurse where they know the pay lens they get pay, and all that kind of talk then they na in a talk about. Of course, for the Coalition for Change, headed by Alhaji Samuel Samsumana, in a symbol of justice, because the APC they be violate the Constitution, and the Ambogam in go is stand for the people, is stand for justice, able for bring that justice back. And so it want for let the people then get more time for let it continue for do the things the way they be elect and for do inter alia. And so now that's now the opening statement. So now let we also listen to them on where they stand on corruption. How they go able for fight corruption in the country. Where do they stand on that? Right? Stick around.
Corruption. Two things what you go do for end corruption.
For stop corruption at this country, I go inject a huge dosage of discipline in the way we will govern this country. We have the ACC, which is one instrument, and we also get all the laws that way for support. What is lacking at the political will, we still get people way above the law. So that aspect, definitely bringing in the discipline, which forms a part of my background, we'll be able to add that to the institution and the laws then for make sure say we combat corruption at this country.
Corruption at the cancer in Sierra Leone, at the Ebola in Sierra Leone. One thing, right now, get about 6 people here who want to be president, or make you show action. Say you're not corrupt, or declare your assets. And none of these folks declare their assets to show they're not corrupt. They show they have the legality, how they get the money. For start. So with my administration, I will end corruption in this country. And
we for strengthen the anti-corruption institutions. we for make sure say senior officials, president, minister, heads of agencies, permanent secretaries regularly, annually declare their assets. Number 3, we for make let the people they know when we give contracts to people for do activities for them, how much we give them and what they be supposed for do. So the citizens themselves go they watch who side the money they go and who that them give that money they what to do with that.
Sumana, you thought.
First of all, we can look at what in government they do. Government they encourage corruption. Because if they pay somebody less than $1 a day, they're recipe for corruption. We go look into that, address that issue. Also, we got to give the independence to the anti-corruption. At the same time, we got to make sure the judiciary and the police work in their own way so that nobody they interfere in the discipline so that good picture can not go.
Of the Citizens Democratic, see what you go do for end corruption at this country.
I will stop political interference, support sensitization, provide better conditions of service, and strengthen investigation.
Samura Kamara, if you will kindly take your 30 seconds.
Thank you, Hassan. The fight against corruption will be my greatest commitment, the greatest commitment of our administration, knowing exactly the negative effects of corruption in our society. We already have an institutional legal framework which we're going to strengthen and make it stronger in the fight against corruption. But certainly also will engage and strengthen civil society engagement in the fight against corruption. Thank you.
I go turn now to retired Brigadier Julius Mada Bio. Corruption. 2 things where you go do for end corruption.
For stop corruption at this country, I go inject a huge dosage of discipline in the way we will govern this country. We have the ACC, which is one instrument, and we also get all the laws that way for support. What is lacking at the political will. We still get people.
All right, and so me famudem, of course, that was the who side the candidates and stand on corruption, right? Who side and stand on corruption? Of course, they may start with the SLPP Julius Madabio. Julius Madabio in say they get for just strengthening the existing laws, meaning that Sierra Leone already get laws them. You know, like the anti-corruption commission, you know, then get laws the way they exist, way they combat corruption. Waiting is say, you know, not the will of the people to enforce those laws. And I kind of agree with them, you know, because when you read the laws of Sierra Leone, from the constitution to the acts them, you read all the laws they will get. Trust me, if we go strictly by them laws, then no corruption will go in a saloon. So the political will is very important. The will of the people to enforce those laws, very important. So now that is a ingo enforce, right? Wherein no one not go there above the law, no one, including even himself if Naim be the president. Now under Mohammed Kamaremba Mansaray, in don't talk say it's a corruption and the cancer and the Ebola of Sierra Leone, right? And it don't set example say pardon 6 waiting up at the stage when a presidential experience them. You know, waiting if they want for really proof say they mean for combat corruption, therefore start out with declaring their assets. Because if we don't declare assets, but the other one, another one. So now that is say. Under the NGC, Dr. Kande Kolerim Kela himself talk a little bit similar to what Madabio talk, wherein the Anti-Corruption Commission should be strengthened, you know, then for make sure say you know, all the ministers and, you know, senior government officers for declare their assets every year, you know, so not to just one time where they, you know, vie for position, but every year they for declare their assets. So people they know waiting and get before they take up the position and waiting and get now. And then it talks, you know, anytime whether they dish out money to any government official for do something for the people of Sierra Leone, that the people then at the country for know, for say we don't give so amount of money to this person and that this is supposed for do time. So I think saying a more of transparency and accountability in the talk on, right? Now the C4C when Alhaji Samuel Samsumana in talk say now government they encourage corruption. Because if you they pay somebody less than $1 a day, then of course na a recipe of corruption. So in the bank on the fact say it's necessary for men and pay the people them more money so that's go take them away from thinking about corruption, right? Now that it talk, and also that government for make the judiciary and the police to be independent, make them do their work without the interference of political parties or government, right? The CDP, one of the Citizens Democratic Party by Musa Tarawali, in say it go stop political interference, it go pay the people them very well, it go make sure say transparency day, that then kind of thing, and it's just similar to the other one them. And of course the APC, Dr. Samura Kamara, in say there are already policies in place which set up by the government of the APC for men and combat corruption, and that Ingo just strengthen them policy then they and continue with them. Wow, I don't know if we know say APC then get policy on combating corruption. Oh, my family, I cannot believe that. I mean, did Dr. Kamara say that? Dr. Samara Kamara, did you say that there was a policy to combat corruption in Sierra Leone for 10 years? I mean, I did not see that. But anyway, that is what they mean by, you know, combating corruption, right? So let me also listen to them on how what they think about infrastructural development, especially the toll road and the, you know, Sierra Leone getting another airport na mama. What they think about that? Let us also listen to that as well, my family.
Mr. Mohammed Kamarimba Mansari. Infrastructure development is a big thing in our country, and the importance in any country. And we get two projects there right now. We're a very big project there, and an important project in the country. One at the Mamama Airport, and the second one at the toll road. What thing are you view on their wire, and how you go approach them if you become president?
Thank you, sir. I don't make my points clear. I'm the only presidential candidate. A week when they go inaugurate me as president, I they stop the toll road. Nobody know they pay 1 cent. That toll road, the APC toll road, and we they cut them off. The second infrastructure department where they talk on Mama Airport, now Flux, Lunge Airport, will not even use them the way we want to. So
I think we have a problem with the microphone. Okay.
I think it's...
If we can just start the time again, please. 30 seconds. Can you roll it back? Thank you.
The method where they use for do the toll road wrong. We not get a tolling policy in the country. It wrong for let people then begin pay for toll road where the road not done yet. And also the road completely overpriced. Me believe say that pricing at 3 times what it for be. The Mamama will get for consider them very carefully because the country get too much debt. And for add more debt will cause burden for the people then. And that's not do longer right now.
Chief Samuel Samsumana.
Mamama, yes, but indeed we'll get priorities. We'll not get running water all over the country. Get Lungo Airport. Why we'll get for force about Mamama at this time? But we'll get some. Looking at the toll road, I know say nobody know and pay us rent. And also we not complete yet. So we believe say if that road been there without no hindrance, why a toll road? We will cost like $336 million at the end of the 27 years.
Now we toll road at Mama Airport. 30 seconds.
I would prefer for expand Longe International Airport and make a commercial city in Longe. Build a port there than the Mama Airport. On the toll road, now alternative road for me toll. Become president, I will renegotiate it. But they pay the people them for complete time, we pay them and they complete it.
Thank you. I think the problem we get from my colleagues is to play politics with a development that will transform this country. Both the toll road and the Mama Airport are two major projects that will create opportunities for economic empowerment that will create serious jobs for our people and move the country further forward so that Sierra Leone will better stand the test of times.
Thank you. The toll road is shrouded in secrecy, the agreements and everything, and therefore we need to do a review and also do what we call value engineering for determine whether we get value for waiting we put into that. We also need to do a complete and holistic evaluation of all other infrastructure projects going on, because as far as I'm concerned, most of them are sham, including the Mamama.
We turn to Mr. Mohammed Kamarimba Mansari. Infrastructure development is a big thing in our country, and importance in any country. And we get two projects there right now. We're a very big project there, and an important project in our country. One at the Mamama Airport, and the second one at the toll road. What thing are you view on their wire, and how you go approach them if you become president?
All right, of course, of course, when I don't hear the presidential candidates on whose side they stand as far as the infrastructure development is concerned, with specific focus on the toll road where the APC government institute now the country, as well as a plan for unravel or unfold a new airport na Mama. The Alliance Democratic Party presidential candidate Mr. Mohammed Kamarimba Mansare in talk say where they make him president. 1 week after that, nobody know they pay toll na that toll road. It's because the toll na an APC toll road. He say Mama Lungi airports will not even do plenty things that with Lungi airport. So then when they talk about another airport, he says so that is a no. Under the NGC, Dr. Kande Koleyom Kela, in talk say, he say the toll business with the APC car will not be a wrong policy because we not get any tolling policy in the country for say, that this law we don't make na Sierra Leone, it inside with law books then for say Sierra Leone as a government for make tolls or make rules then put toll panel rules then we don't have that. And so therefore they're not been doing right. It's so when income it go evaluate the whole thing, review them, because it's say even the money where people that you pay for the toll is overpriced, and so when income it go undo that one day it go review that. And so even about the Mamama airport, it don't talk say the country get too much debt. So for go pile another debt, put on top the debt where the country already get, it say it not called for. So right now Mamama they out. And that will for the talk about Longe Airport. The Coalition for Change, it is same for toll the same line with the other one. Them instead say, he say, Mama, okay, yes, but the only thing not a priority right now because water not there for let people then drink, food not there for let people then eat. Then why would they talk about a new airport where it be say the one self will get will not use and completely yet? It says so. It say not to think way supposed to happen. And then under the Citizens Democratic Party, Musa Tarawale in the talk say in your measure now for expand Longe airports, create a commercial city na Longe and create alternate road them around the toll road. So possibly when not get money for pay pass na the toll, it go get an alternate road where it go use for pass. The APC in company they play politics with two important stuff the way go bring economic empowerment and employment for the one that will not get job. That's now the toll road and the airport business na Mama it go bring a lot of jobs. So therefore in company when they all in at that stage then they play politics with that. I don't know how that get for happen. We they implement the way they talk about how it go across the board, because APC will always not say who that shall be you, right? Okay, under the SLPP, Julius Madabio in say it go do a complete review of the toll system or the toll road. It's because everything what they do in secrecy, na sham, then get for do valued engineering for me to know if the kind engineering stuff what they do na that toll road it even commensurate to the kind expectation. And so therefore, it could do a complete evaluation of all of the other infrastructural development where the APC government be done they do in the country for me to see if it's necessary for keep or it's not necessary for keep. So now that's the presidential candidates then talk on that issue of infrastructural development. So let we go further and see waiting and talk about the dual citizenship, right, which is very important to some of us living in the diaspora. Waiting and say. Stick around with us.
Thank you very much. And now we go on to Alaji Tande Kole Yumkela. And I want to ask you, very interesting, this thing that they call Tusim and the diaspora, it don't become big issue. What you go do about this? And about the Sierra Leone and the all-winner people that they call diaspora now?
We don't put on our manifesto. All diasporans, we will immediately move legislation to give them voting rights where they are. Second, we will also work with the judiciary and the parliament to make sure we repeal those areas of our constitution that are discriminatory to diasporans or dual nationals. But I do believe that a president cannot be a dual national.
If Samuel Samsumana.
The issue of dual citizenship, clearly, one, we know so to get a lot of support from we brothers and sisters. Why spite them? When we need them, then support, then they fall away. And the issue of dual citizenship, yes, the Constitution presently quiets it about but we will look it around and make sure so we address wherein the president no get dual citizenship or therefore be paid.
I believe in the rule of law. We will engage as a nation or create the enabling atmosphere for make with people in the diaspora participate. I will also ensure that we get mobile facility where they go left overseas and they process their passports and ID cards without coming here. If we bring the people closer and include them in the development process.
Thank you. I think personally, in my years in managing the affairs of this country, I don't see the advantage of having the diaspora family footed, providing resources and contribute to economic development. Fortunately, there is a constitutional provision which is diverse, also different from Madual Act. What I will do is try to create an enabling environment whereby the diaspora will continue to develop. Certainly, we look at the constitutional provision and provide a more enabling environment.
Well, actually, me, I not get double SIM. I always don't be a Sierra Leonean. Although some people don't offload one SIM, but we believe, say, anybody where they out of this country, we're not part of this country, don't they contribute, we for encourage them. We not for use the law as it has been used for discourage them or exclude them from the political processes because they are part of the economy of this country and they contribute immensely. So it is a law that we have to review.
I love this country. I worship this country after God. And I assure you one thing. Nobody not forget 2 SIM or 3 SIM wait for be president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. So whoever get 2 SIM, make it just resign and go wait. The second thing I tell you, as the diaspora and they give them voting right as president, and the first 90 days, we're going to enact them, Lord and Day.
Thank you very much. And now we go on to Alaji Tande Kole Yumkela. And I want to ask you, very interesting, this thing that they call Tusim and the diaspora, it don't become big issue.
All right, and so my family, and at that we hear from the presidential aspirants on the issue of dual citizenship as well, right? Of course, it started with the National Grand Coalition, Dr. Kande Koleyom Kela. Dr. Kande Koleyom Kela don't talk say, they say already they inside the NGC manifesto for say the diasporans them Sierra Leoneans living in the diaspora then go able for vote who side and they don't need for travel for go inside. We vote who side would they. Good thing, good talk. Of course, it will also work with the judiciary and the parliament for me to repeal the areas then that we constitution for where they discriminate against Sierra Leoneans the way they in the diaspora. I think say Sierra Leone don't begin to head in the right direction. The only thing Dr. Kande Koleyom Kela talk say, he not believe say the possible way for be president, for be somebody where they carry dual nationality or dual citizenship, right? Of course, the Coalition for Change, Alhaji Samuel Samsumana, they say, reason not there for exclude Sierra Leoneans the way they are abroad. Because Sierra Leoneans living abroad, they provide a lot of support to the country. Even though the constitution quiet about including us into the political processes in the country, they say, but when he becomes president, now they work with the parliament and government for making ensure say, Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora are included inside the laws they under. The Citizens Democratic Party, Musa Tarawali talks in believing rule of law, and that as a nation it will engage the people of Sierra Leone for let Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora participate in the electoral process in the country. They go also encourage the creation of mobile facilities. Then we go move from place to place so that Sierra Leoneans they not get need for men to travel go to Sierra Leone, but at them mobile facilities then go able for create identification cards and they go able for also vote whosoever then they. The APC in the talk say it say from where Dr. Samuel Kamara say from where in start governance, it don't always see the advantage of including Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora into governance. It say so they have always done that. The only thing about the constitutional provision and the Citizenship Act are different in those areas than they. Well, I mean, we believe say APC we don't they do this. The only thing where it don't reach to 2 months to election, now then change course. They were quiet on this issue, but as election they can here now, they don't open and back. But anyway, the SLPP say, it say you know get double it say you know get double SIM. And some people that don't already offload, they don't SIM them. It say, but in the encourage everybody, the government, the people, for me and not exclude anybody when I Sierra Leone. I say because Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora are a major part of the economy now the country, then they help a lot. And of course, Mohammed Cameron Mansare of the ADP say no 2 SIM or 3 SIM possible for be president as Sierra Leone, but the only thing in the support Sierra Leoneans where they are abroad for me them be part of the governance dispensation. So on the overall, at the CC, then all day for dual citizenship, which is a good thing. They're all day for them. Now, the only thing no more, we all for work together as Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora for prevail on whoever able for form the next government, for let them everything where they don't talk, now make they record them, would they keep them. Because tomorrow we'll go begin a plan for them back. If they want for make like say, they're not been talking Andy. But for prevail on them, for me they act on waiting they don't talk, immediately they become government. I feel say that one is very, very important to do. And so before with them, we get for now go to the closing remarks they wouldn't give. I mean, they talk plenty. The whole debate's been last for well over 2 to 3 hours. But we're not going to bring all of that on. But now we get for bring them closing remarks then. We instead of closing remarks then concrete things then the way the presidential candidates and talk about we very important and we go good for let we able for a reform. But before that, we want for assure when I for say on election day we are going to be here. We are going to have a panel as the election they go on. We get live reporting from Sierra Leone. On then election, everything where they go on, we'll get for the CM live. We're going to hear from we reporters them, and of course we'll get a panel where we're going to hold then discussions then they on waiting at the potential way where the election they go. We'll get with magic board being we for able for show how the election they go and waiting at some of the expectations. Of course, we also plan for let we give another interview to the chairman of the National Electoral Commission, Mr. Infa Ali Conte, for me to talk to we about waiting at the final plans, the final preparations by NEC for all a very credible elections in the country. So we'll go bring Dandy to Una hopefully by next week. But for now, let's go to the debate room again for your waiting at the closing remarks. Stick around.
A few times to challenge each other. Now, I'd like to give you all 3 minutes each so that you can remind the people of Sierra Leone about the good plans that you say you have for them and why you are the man for the position of the presidency of Sierra Leone. And in the order in which you balloted for this particular round, start with the candidate of the NGC, Dr. Kande Kole Yumkela.
Sierra Leoneans, I have presented myself as a servant to you to lead your nation. My party believes in an inclusive society that is free, fair, and just, where every individual has an opportunity to unleash their potential. I pledge to you today that my interest in leading you is to work for the common man, to ensure that we have jobs for the youth, that the poor market woman that labors every day in the market to sell their wares can go back home and feed their families, that the many unemployed young men and women have the skills that will make them employable, that we build an educational system that we're proud of, that will make us competitive around the world, that in fact our medical services are robust enough, good enough, that yes, we can do good diagnosis in our country, that we have good enough medical services here to treat our people instead of flying them overseas. Salon people, I dey talk to una. I don't come, I don't get no baggage. I don't thief nobody money na ya. But I come with experience. I come with sababu and goodwill where we need for make the country better for una. We can't forfeit for the common man. For let that common man get in daily living, make it get respect. Waiting na respect. Now where youth man wake na morning, able left chop money na house. Able give him picking school fee for go school. And where in weft sick, able send an hospital. Waiting na respect. Now where that woman self gets income, he get job, he able help in family, but in self land book. Waiting na respect. Now where we dey ensure say we young girl there, no go get belle na school. Waiting na respect. Now where teacher doing work well. Where then we pay and well. Where we train and well. For educate we picking them for the future. And yes, where we the politician, no they no more they thief una money. They thief una money, they help we and we family no more. They take we minerals there, sell and cheap, because somebody give we money for we safe no more. Now that make we cannot politics. The National Grand Coalition want change for una. We don't get the same system for 56 years. Where one do one, he pass on to the other. Una try something new. New driver, new motorcar. New motorcar, new driver. We NGC, we say united we stand united. You touch one, you touch we all. And we were the suffer, now we boku. We were one good school, now we plenty. We were one good job, now we plenty. That God help we all, as we can say in Islam, Salli ala Muhammad.
Thank you very much. You have 3 minutes. The next candidate will go to for his closing remarks. 3 minutes is the candidate of the Alliance Democratic Party, Mohamed Kamarimba Mansare.
Me Talon Fambulem. I want to tell you say tonight we get voice that this country. Now Mohamed Kamarimba Mansare. The only opposition of this country. Now Mohamed Kamarimba Mansare. They all been just sit down and been quiet. They all been muted. But now, 1 month, 2 month election, they all get all the experience. All one knock chest who can lead this country. But believe in me, the Sierra Leonean people, they know better. The Sierra Leonean, they know the one way we don't stick for them in this country. They know what we don't they talk for them. The one way ready for sacrifice. We don't go all out for make this country a better country. Me go deliver Salon. I go come make Sierra Leone. You go be proud for be a Sierra Leonean. I go come make a Sierra Leone where if you want work, you go get work. I go come make a Sierra Leone where if you want business opportunity, you go able to go get money in a bank for make business. Not to just foreigners then we go Canada this country here for come, then come better themselves. Where Sierra Leone don't be third-class citizen, fourth-class citizen. It's a no, now Mohamed Kamarimba Mansarim presidency. And now they accept that, and at the tell on this, me go can deliver that. And lastly, fellow Sierra Leoneans, I know for sure when I don't follow in at this country, I don't go all over the country. All of the action is now number 2 at the end of the ballot. Just go try for votes for the ADP and Mohamed Kamarimba.
Thank you
all over
very much.
Thank you very much.
And we turn now to Alhaji Musa Tarawali of the Citizens Democratic Party.
The people of Sierra Leone, today, I don't make one understand that Mina an inspired, innovative, experienced, and visionary leader. We don't study the problems of Sierra Leone and develop a well-defined plan for this country in development. Me promise Sona that me go make the people of Sierra Leone. President Kaba, the late, come, he done the war. President Nkrumah, he don't make some roads. Me, they can make the people of Sierra Leone. Or make them become productive with a sense of responsibility, for pay tax, or make we move from the donor-driven economy to sustainable development. I want to assure you that me not to the lawyer, me not to the doctor, me not to the engineer, but I get the vision we will develop Sierra Leone. And once we people are empowered or make they own the process, be responsible to the country, and become beneficiaries of the development process, then pull go down at this country. This country, none of we not go make it without God. Therefore, we forget the fear of God and be responsible to our people. We for lead with people or worship God so that God will guide with development process. This country in politicking, it remove God from the process and entrench the politics, enshrines, tribalism, color, parties above the development of the people. That is why I believe, we therefore establish God as the platform and driving force who will guide we all. We want lead una today. And once God give we the wisdom and understanding for champion this country in development process, then we will achieve her. We people don't suffer a lot. They're not able to afford 3 meals. They're not able to afford good health facility, good education for them people. We prepare them, now the missions we educate them. Sierra Leone be known as the destination for education. And now the missions, both Islamic and Christian missions,
Thank you very much, Alhaji Musa Tarawali. Let's turn now to the candidate of the Coalition for Change, Alhaji Chief Samuel Sam Sumana. 3 minutes for your closing remark.
Thank you. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, stand before you today. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity that as Vice President of this from 2007 to 2012. And thank you again for granting me the opportunity to serve you from 2012. But for the unconstitutionality of the present regime that obstructed your vote, taking away your vote, in which Section 5 of the 1991 Constitution, wherein sovereignty belongs to the state, was thwarted by the present regime. I say to you, it was my pledge that I would uphold and maintain the Constitution of this country. So I decided that my country had gone through a whole lot. Instead of going back to the bush, like our unfortunate brothers did, instead, I decided to take the bitter pill and put nation first and restore the dignity of the constitution of this, because you have suffered too long. It doesn't make sense for my individual satisfaction to wage war again because of what was done to me. I today stand before all of you, and I had to run away to give peace a chance, unlike what happened in South Sudan or in Zimbabwe, to make sure that you stay in peace. And I went and fought to bring back and peace to the country that we all love. Today, as I stand here, I want you to give me the opportunity that experience being the best master among all of us. I have served ISO, and I'll bring to you the issue of good governance. I'll make sure that there is transparency and accountability during my tenure of office. I'll make sure that there is equality for women in this country. No more 30, 70%, or equal opportunity for all, and for the youth of this nation. And I say to all of you that the disabled will be recognized in this country. I further say to you that I pledge that I will do my best to make sure that the social services of this country are addressed, making sure utilities are provided, making sure that electricity and water supply will be things of the past. I promise and I pledge that if you give me the opportunity again, I'll make sure that we revive the economy of this country. No more shall our youth say again, "Rai Bobodeo," but they will get up and be productive citizens of. And I promise that what we stand for as a nation, we shall exalt when we all put hands on deck, as we say in the coalition of the nation first, against our individual sacrifice.
Thank you very much. We'll turn now to Dr. Samura Kamara of the All People's Congress.
Thank you, Aslam. We family them. Today, a big day for we all. Don't listen to six of we who want to be presidents of this country or lead una to the next 5 years. I want to tell una say, since the war ended, we signed peace in 2002, we don't make enough progress or move forward from what caused the civil war in this country. In the process, we don't suffer a terrible disease, don't suffer a terrible environmental disaster, don't suffer other forces. We make them and trying to find ways for finance our economic development. But I can tell you one thing, and I also would all know that the greatest development we don't see in Australia during the last 10 years of the APC government. Now the APC no more. I don't make sure today we don't get well over 1,700 kilometers of road. And we'll continue for build more roads. Because it's a waiting up now, none of them know they drive the Mosokana Gota, then they drive na the good road. But they're still blind for say nothing will not do, a road development no matter. We don't try for improve the energy sector or make sure say energy available to everybody in the country. We'll not get there yet, but certainly we'll try for move for expand energy supply. Similarly, in the health sector, the lesson we'll learn from Ebola, it tell we say we need for do more on the health sector for make them responsive and resilient. We need for do more or involve with local communities. We see how partnership with the local communities, good partnership with international development partners will carry way forward. We need to do more in the water system, even though today, almost all the major towns in this country get water system over the last 10 years. In education, we don't build more schools, bigger enrollment. All universities today as composed to the time we only get 2. I think we don't do very well. Teachers are better remunerated. In the security sector, the police, the army, and other security apparatus, they all who don't try to improve the operational qualities and moving forward. Yes, we have to do more. And that's why it is good when I get somebody like me, we'll get experience. We honestly appreciate what the government don't do before, not for deny like a blind, and then for try for move forward and do more together with Una. I need Una support. This is my Sierra Leone, your Sierra Leone.
We'll now call upon the final presidential candidate at this presidential debate tonight to give his final pitch to the people of Sierra Leone. Retired Brigadier Julius Madabio of the Sierra Leone People's Party.
The people of Sierra Leone, I have served this nation as head of state, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and your first Chief of Defense Staff. So I have the unique experience of running a state, and I did so when it was at war. If you want to hit the ground running, then I am your best candidate. Me, not to apprentice. I have come from a disciplined background. I promise to provide credible, disciplined leadership to help us move the development process in this country. With every modesty, I am one of the most enduring political figures of our time and the most popular at this point in time. Many remember and think and call me the father of democracy because I promised democracy for this country and I delivered. I promised peace for this country, and I delivered. So when I make my promises, it is against a credible track record that you can rely on. I have fought for this nation. When many were hiding, I fought for you. I also have a credible plan to save this nation, and I have a credible team to help me execute that plan. I have said this election is about the future of our great nation, Sierra Leone. The future of our children. The future of our grandchildren. The people of this country are suffering immensely under the weight of rampant corruption and mismanagement of the APC. So if you want democratic change to end their suffering, vote Julius Madabio and the SLPP. If you want free education for our children, vote Julius Madabio and the SLPP. If you want jobs for our youths roaming the streets, vote Julius Madabio and the SLPP. If you want an end to rampant corruption, indiscipline and lawlessness, where nobody is above the law, and I mean nobody is above the law, vote Julius Madabio and the SLPP. If you want good hospitals, good roads, electricity for all Sierra Leoneans, better salaries for our teachers, nurses, police, military, prison officers, and all public sector workers, then vote Julius Madabio. If you want efficient political and economic management of the state and its natural resources for the benefit of all Sierra Leoneans, vote Julius Madabio and the SLPP. If you want inclusive government, inclusive development, where everyone is in and no one is out,
thank you very much.
Julius Madabio and the SLPP.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure listening to you all, gentlemen.
All right, and so ladies and gentlemen, that was the debate. Of course, the closing remarks by the presidential candidates who participated in the historical presidential debate in Sierra Leone. And so, Mifamude, you know, this is a milestone reached by this country called Sierra Leone. Of course, from 1961 to this day that I'm talking to you, this is the only presidential debate that has taken place in the country, at least for little people that know where these presidential candidates stand on issues in the country, even though some of us knew for the fact that this whole organization of this debate was not going to go free without flaws, without mistakes, without errors. We knew there were going to be errors. We knew there were going to be problems, you know. But then we look at also the magnitude of the problems that this debate created. Now, in as much as we lack waiting, we don't see, I mean, the messages then they don't pass, but other political parties, then they right now, then they can complain big time. Because when you talk about democracy in a country, you know, it's either you do for all man or you not do them at all. But once you don't decide, say, I want to do this, I want to do them for the benefit of the country, for the benefit of the electoral process, for the benefit of the electioneering process, you have to make sure every competitor in that race has to have his or her own fair share. But out of 16 political parties, only 6 took part in this historical debate. And so some political parties are now saying that AYV TV and all the one that we organize this debate, that they don't already interfere into the electoral process of the country, because they don't tell the Sierra Leonean people that out of the 16 political parties, now only 6 now the main one them, and then 6 then they therefore listen to. So to me, it is unfair to the rest of the other political parties, and this now a very bad precedent. If we are talking about realistic change in the country, if we are talking about transparency, if we are talking about accountability, this is not how we should operate. You know, you either do it or you don't do it. But when you decide to do it, you make sure you reach out to everybody. I mean, some people in the way they ask questions, oh, did the other political parties sign? Of course they did. There was a communique that went around where they all signed. And secondly, you know, the whole idea, even some of them went and they will sign this communique, then left some of them out, like the National Democratic Alliance, where Mohammed Siba the lead, then left them out. But even if the communique not been there, if you don't decide for do this, make it public, don't make it hidden. This is a democratic process, especially where the democracy is fragile. You know, now like a glass, if you come out now we hand for donor ground, they break, shatter. We don't want that. So let every process in this, the organization of this debate, make them public. Let's allow people that know what you do from point A to point Z. That at the end of the day, they're not going to blame you, right? And so, in as much as we have high respect for AYV TV and all the organizers for putting this thing together so well, but then there are flaws. So, hoping that this not going to create any negative impact on the coming elections, and that people will not cry foul because of then left them out from this debate, and that this debate not going to impact the outcome of the elections, because when you look at how many people that watch this debate in the country, not to all man get access to television, not to all man get access to radio, even if they broadcast over radio. And so I don't know if this debate will create any impact on the outcome of the elections, right? So, but if it does create any impact, then of course there will be questions. So if we talk about free, fair, peaceful, transparent, and credible elections, these are some of the areas the way that they shake the pillars where they under the process. And so that is what we have for you guys. And so at this point, we have now opened the lines in case you want to call at the station for profile your own views on waiting happen at Sierra Leone as far as this debate is concerned. You have the number up there. If you want your face to be seen, of course, you can call us on Skype. The Skype ID na Sheriff's Web Radio. Of course, it is at the screen right now. You go able for use that call into the station and profile your views right about this time. Right? So me fun with them. We're gonna get for hang around now. So for a little bit, whilst we wait for you for me call either via telephone or Skype. And so stick around.
now abundantly clear is that the 10 years of APC misrule has...
Yes, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we have someone on the line. Of course, now without a call.
Well, Mr. Sheriff, my name is Kefala Kusia. I call from Tennessee, the United States of America.
Okay, yes, welcome, Kefala. Of course, Kefala, you get something for say about the broadcast?
Yes, I don't listen, and I've been watching the debate.
Right.
You know, but we get lots of reservation about the debate, how it happened.
Right.
In the first place, I told the line of Mr. Siba, when the NDA leader, that they're not leading a fear at all. Because I followed the whole process. Right. One, in the first place, they're not allow the political parties for sign the communique, give them the assurance, and they all therefore be part of the debate.
Right.
We say the biasness come on. Political parties will not be turned up another meeting where they call for go sign that communique. They are take part of that debate. And we don't see, you understand, every day they do very well because they inform Sierra Leoneans. Even the program that they get, that AYV on Sunday, they only give opportunity to few political parties that will go sit and talk about them party business. And everybody when they register as a political party, they go into election and for let win. If you want to create an independent platform, create them for everybody. Right. Not create them for very few and create them and favor other people. Who knows? Probably the other political parties and then get very good message, you then go give voters for let them vote for them. Right. Of course, Asa Aruni is a very good journalist. They do very well, you understand. But as you say, in less certain areas where you not ask questions on that debate, they were very important. One, with judiciary system. Because when they talk to you, I'm a journalist, you understand? I mean, let's say if Asa Aruni, instead of a journalist, if I don't talk something about the media. Right. Because for every development of any country, the media are a potent weapon. We all go to America, they see the role of the media they play for bringing the political health into tax. When they put people in a position of trust, then they pray for what they do. But you not talk about the media, we're in a journalist, we all know say that criminal libel, they don't promise the fourth estate so many times and they therefore remove them. If I don't ask questions, they made them on record back. If they fail for going, just like how you say, we get everything in record, we get for the plan for them. So all the areas in the elephant, you know, and maybe if you say, therefore don't choose somebody from the ground, not that they try for crown down that they not do the job. The ground work that mirror debate. Really conduct that debate and ask questions at all the areas then. If I don't choose a journalist where they're at the ground, not that we where they're out of Australia, we don't know the issues, but then they're at the ground and they feel the pinch of what they happen. Right. You know, they don't ask better questions than what I really do, just that they do in your part, you know. But I really told like, and just like I said, right, it's tough for top 19 and they see, you know, when they see 16 political parties and they debate. 16 political parties now, they all go into the race and they all go for win elections, whether they not win or they win. So you not go pull them out of the debate and just bring 6. It means you already influence the election, so then 6 years then we will do something. So now that's a million contribution. The judiciary and the media will not really anything about them. So now some of the things and then they were pick. And secondly, something they were pick on also because the way them people are they talk at the pick on key things there. Right. The allegation made by Dr. Samura that when the guy's financial secretary, when that he know about all the money business, they how they come on the accounts, no money, no they will go Canada country, they know they know the role of financial secretary. They make an allegation that retired brigadier Julius Snyder will not be able to account for 18 million. And they appeal through this medium, then they ask Dr. Samura, let it bring the proof forward. Because it's very crucial, you know, for when you make an allegation during the presidential debate as 18 million missing.
Right. You therefore substantiate them, right.
Yes. We all on the ground will say politicians and they put money in our pockets and at that don't make the people and they suffer. So if they don't make that allegation, I feel say the media don't know for play for let them actually bring the evidence.
Right.
And for the mere fact, instead we know, in the financial sector, it gets something for explain to we. Not that you will just talk for make political score and left one like that.
Okay, yeah. So, Mr. Coates, thank you so much, my brother. We get somebody else just don't come in. Of course, who is on the line?
Richard.
Okay, yeah, Richard. Just a second. Mr. Coates, are you still on or you don't left?
I'm still there, sir.
Okay, we get somebody else on the line right now. I really appreciate you for calling in. And one of the other things we then talk about Hassan Haruni was also that they asked follow-up question to specific candidates them, but nobody do them to all candidates. And people that feel say that was bias on his side. People that feel say it not being supposed for do them that way because when you do them that way they look like say they favor certain people and nobody favor the other ones.
The CDP, the leader, but they make some billions contribution, but always they complain say then they left from the end.
Yes, yes.
It's pretty young pass, but they not do well.
Yes, but thank you. Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Kosher. I appreciate you for your contribution. Okay, yes. Who is calling? Who called again? Who is on the line? Richard.
Richard Kauja from New Jersey.
Yes. Hey, Richard. How are you? You want to make a contribution?
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead, my brother.
Let me follow up the debate.
You sound far away.
Yes. Sorry. I will follow the debate. So, but the decision where AYV they take, I know say most of we not happy with them, but again, we have to watch that another side. But you forget
you didn't on speaker. You sound far away. We not hear you fine.
All right, let me call you back.
Yeah, call back. Okay. Yeah, and so me family then that's not the things that we need for know, because you see in democracy when you decide say you get for do something, either you do them the right way or you not do them at all, especially at the time where the country they go through this kind of dispensation right now, you get for do things then the right way. So right now we get family the way they complain a little bit somewhere about how the process been get for unveiled, right? And so once more we are waiting for Richard to call back. Richard Ngawujia, of course, my family want for Leona continue for stick around as we continue for bring you the program. Of course, on election day we are going to be here live. We get reports from we journalists. We reporters them from the country. Then get for reports on waiting the happen at the country on election day. So we go bring a live toner. All right. I think say this is very important. This is not the only time we'll be able for put your hands on deck for ensure say things they happen. All right. Richard is here. All right. Hello, Richard. You're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Yes, go ahead.
As I said earlier, yes, as I said earlier, I watch on their own position also. Forget just few people at the stage, because if you get 16 candidates at the stage, how many minutes you go for allocate to each of them for maybe able for articulate them, position them. So maybe one way they for done that, maybe not for do like a 2 debates, or which will be difficult also. So I know say no way for satisfy body people and therefore angry or what, but what did they do? But again, let me come back to the debate of itself. Mr. Hassan Haruni, I think they do a very good job. But one side we maybe get offended. Now we are in the caution the other candidates and for stop for go after Dr. Samura. And we know say Dr. Samura that the incumbent, they don't need the power for more than 10 years now.
Right.
And people they don't see what they do.
Right.
So Hassan Haruni for don't allow Dr. Samura for defend himself whenever he
gets attacked.
Exactly,
right. I agree.
But we not be even see the candidates and not be even they interact among themselves.
Right.
Somebody they make accusation and then Dr. Hassan Haruni not be allowed the person for respond. If somebody attack you, give the person the opportunity, make him defend himself. But
right. Okay. Yes. Hold on. Let me put you back. Just give a second. Yes. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yes.
Yes.
So those are my observation and not the number.
All right, Mr. Gauja.
Also again, we find out. We find out. Say we sisters them be missing from the debate. You know, all the presenters, them, all that canton, also men.
Man, them, woman, they not been there.
We see starting at like 51%. So
then we even get a female presidential candidate of a political party. At least therefore don't include them for this debate, but they don't include that one themselves. But anyway, thank you so much, Mr. Gawujia. Yes, there is another caller on the line. Yes, who is on the line? Hawa Ada. Yes, Hawa. Who say the call from? Okay, yeah, Hawa, go ahead. You did sound a little low. You want to raise your voice more. Yes, go ahead.
I did try to talk about the money where they say, when at 18 million, where they say mother bill, they try for talk on. Then, the second question again, we'll talk about, when they ask mother bill, within how are they able to raise up in education system, free education, where they with. Why is it that now only mother bill that they ask in view what they try, how they try for raise up the money for an education field? The other people that you manifestos the way they prove out. Why they not ask them say how we not able for get finance or whatever for get when I manifesto or what you don't say when they do.
Right, I pick on that too.
Yeah, the 18 million when they talk about say mother bill they don't take. Yeah, we need proof because some of we they support me not the lie, they support this man, but if then can't see and they would the area, we need to get proof. Let we know say this and something like this we don't go on. It don't go kind no more 2 weeks to election. Just sound like what's they happen with Hillary Clinton. 1 week or 2 weeks to election, they tell and say they don't find out the email. So if in don't come we then can't talk and they 3 weeks to election, say the man we don't take 18 million from the country. Let it show we proof. Let we see and say now this demand we don't do. Then do this asana room may not really try for we because only mother be one night it asks a particular question. They how able for raise up money for do the free education. What about the other candidates and we suggest them manifestos and why you know ask them?
Right.
Can I make your contribution?
Thank you very much, my sister. Of course, very fair contributions from you. We appreciate you for that. And, you know, now this is what they talk about. You know, in a democratic dispensation, in a democratic process, when you don't decide, say, you they do something, you want to be seen to be fair. You don't want to do anything where people then go look at you, say, you they interfere into the process. Because by doing this, I mean, we may not say this particular thing will get all the mistakes here, flaws and errors. You know, but from there, if we find for let know waiting at even the difference between mistake and error. You see, mistake now something where you they do where you not even know what you they do. It just they happen. Now later on you they realize for say, oh, I don't be supposed for doing that way. Now this way I be supposed for doing. Then you correct yourself. But an error na something where you dey either do unconsciously or you dey do am because you don't know. Right? Something where you dey do consciously, say this na so I dey do am for make I commit this error. Or because you not even get an iota of an idea for say this is how I'm supposed to do, but I'm going to do it anyway, then you do and then you mess up. Right? So we get for no then differences here. I mean, they see Hassan Aruni be they ask follow-up questions to specific candidates them. Just like our sister don't talk to Julius Madabio about how it go fund the election, you know, the free education where you want for institute in the country, how you go able for fund them. Will be say, you know, ask other candidates and follow-up questions like those. So you go able for see who side it be stand on this whole thing. And you know, before even the debate, plenty of people that be talk say Hassan Haruni na a big time supporter of Kandel Yonkela. So we see how that them play into this whole thing. But anyway, we'll not get proof of that. But now that's not be the rumor until we didn't at the media house, people that can send you know, inboxes, messages privately. So, you know, then they can come into before they even broadcast. But now that's not the thing will happen. But anyway, me farm with them. So now that's not the debate will happen. Very historical in the country. It not ever happened yet, but it happened with a whole lot of mistakes, with a whole lot of flaws, with a whole lot of things the way people that they allege right now for say they want the way organize the debates, then do them in the wrong way. And so hopefully this not go create any negative impact on the election. It not go unbug the outcome of the election, because we all they wish for a very free, fair and peaceful election, credible election at the country. So we not expect or anticipate for let the election run into any problem. But for now, let us just see once more waiting Mr. Mohamed Siba, presidential candidate for the National Democratic Alliance, the NDA, waiting at the issue where it take up with AYV TV. Right? So me found that let us stick around and see that exclusively.
He has several elections in this country, but we understand that you were a bit disappointed, especially not being in the 6 presidential candidates being chosen by AYV and Sludge for the great presidential, debate. Has that been resolved now?
No, it has not been resolved. I think AYV dropped the ball. AYV has demonstrated a lack of integrity.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Let me read, if you don't mind, the agreement that we signed on March 9th. I, Mohamed Siba, acknowledging the Creator, God Almighty, and seeking divine direction for the benefit of the people of Sierra Leone, recognizing that the executive authority of the Republic of Sierra Leone is entrusted to a democratically elected leader by and on behalf of the citizens of Sierra Leone, cognizance of the inalienable rights of the citizens of Sierra Leone to objectively assess the agenda and policy position of the individuals upon whom they bestow executive authority by democratic investiture, affirming my unequivocal commitment to fulfilling my obligation by presenting my candidature to the people of Sierra Leone whom I seek to lead. On this day, the 9th of January 2018, in the presence of my fellow flag bearers and stakeholders in the electoral process in Sierra Leone, confirm my participation in good faith and in the interest of entrenching issue-based politics in our democracy. The Sierra Leone Decide 2018 presidential debate proposed to be held on the 15th of February 2018 at the Bintumani Conference Hall, Freetown, produced by AYV.
All right.
This document has been reneged by
Yes, we
AYV.
understand. Yes, okay.
And so I am questioning the integrity of AYV.
Okay. Mr. Ba, if I may come in quickly, do you believe that AYV has given all political parties an open playing field for you to articulate your views even before, campaigning began? And
No.
You haven't?
No.
Why?
Let me first of all express a history of AYV's biasness.
How?
First, you had an aspirant program where you relatively interviewed only 4 aspirants. I came to your management and brought that to their attention that we have more than 4 aspirants. I spoke with Tony about the matter. He apologized and he said that you would be more inclusive. Secondly, you had a mayoral debate. You excluded my party, you excluded the other 16 political parties. And now there is a continuous pattern by AYV to discredit one of the 3rd oldest political party in Sierra Leone.
Mr. Ba, in the United States of America, wherein you have been working for several years, when we have political parties in there, but when it comes to the debate, you only had Madam Clinton and Donald Trump, okay? In the interest of nationalism, don't you think that maybe taking into consideration that we have 16 political parties, I know you're not a broadcaster, and we do understand, your feelings, obviously, because it would seem as if nobody is crediting or nobody is taking your party seriously. It's taken into consideration you have been in politics for a very long time. Okay. Wouldn't you say that it would be prudent for you not to put this situation aside, but think of AYV as one of the independent media houses who, since we just started broadcasting, than all the other media houses who started broadcasting before, wouldn't you at least acknowledge us for our independence in serving the nation and serving you, the political parties?
Well, first of all, you made a bad example. In the United States, we have 2 major political parties there. In Sierra Leone, we have 17. So that's
17 major political parties.
17 political parties that are contesting for the presidential election. So there is no equality in terms of comparison.
That is why I brought it.
Now, the point about AYV, this is why I am in this race. Because in Sierra Leone, we have this culture of preferential treatment.
What do you mean by that? We have
this culture where it is this or it's that. Look, when you talk about the political dynamic in Sierra Leone, it's not only APC or SLPP. Now, I was on Star Radio yesterday. Part of the criteria that you guys have established is that the political parties must have participated in the 2012 election. The NGC and C4C did not participate. When you look at this document, C4C is not part of this document. Even CPD is not part of this document. If I may come in, Mr. Barr. Let me finish, Dwight. Let me finish. So the point here is, I am in this race because we need to stop what they call this kukujumuku. We need to.
Don't you think? Excuse me, Mr. Barr. Don't you think? Don't you think that is a very strong adjective to use when you say kukujumuku? Because excuse me. Apart from the issue that political parties should have participated, there were other criteria which they put with regards to, establishing who would participate. I do agree, or we do agree with you, and management has said that they would discuss this with you, that you had been calling at the initial stage. But as you know, AYB came up with this debate. Let me tell you now. Okay. At least you can have an understanding, and the whole public is watching. If not, we wouldn't be creating a platform for you to express yourself. If we had anything bad against you,
that opportunity.
Okay, so can you? I know you haven't.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot understand Dwight. Dwight, they try to defend AYV on this issue. Dwight, all you can say is I apologize. This is our first debate ever organized since 1961. We knew that we have made mistakes, errors, but we are promising Sierra Leoneans that future debates will not go through that kind of problem there. Stop defending. 16 political parties, which criteria will you use? Like, the people of the country not know. If they organize as a media house, they organize a debate, they make the entire process from the day one onto the last day, they make them very transparent. Me farm with them, now then people they are so with the right to them all for let them participate in this debate. Or you send the letter they out, the response the way they come, you inform the people then back. Or then letter all right, now then political parties then respond for say then go participate. And this now the plans they all get for organize the debate. Now so they set the stage. If they do debate 1 and debate 2 and do the final, these are understandable things. In fact, there is a plan that in the future, you want for all more than 2-3 debates throughout the country, not to free town no more. Care go the debates outside the people and they, do at the provincial headquarter towns, address each specific issue in each specific city. Like where you go now the Eastern Province, you want for talk about natural resources because the mineral resources are from there, right? You go now like a Southern Province, maybe you want for talk about agriculture over there. You go to Northern Province, maybe you want for talk about the economy in other side and there. You want for address issues in different areas there. And the other thing why I not see part this debate, but maybe it will get better in the future, is that we want for know waiting at the response will come up from a debate watch party. Like people then come together, bring a case study of people together now the different cities then. We'll get Skype now in the country, we'll get 4G network. You go able to connect via Skype. Let the people there. I know say they show that one they small, Nabo, na the other side there. But let we really see how the people then feel about the entire debate. And if possible, put a giant screen, a big projector screen. Now, like then a football field them. Now the country invite the entire cities, men and can watch the debate live. Do some connections. We'll get mobile internet now. Let people they all watch, men and see what's in the family and they talk. And this idea of debating in English, then for eliminators small, how many people in the area, all them big English, then whatever they talk, let us talk Creole, let us find they able to get the message, right? So I feel saying that we supposed for they do. But once more, my family will not get any more calls. So we want to say this is how we are going to come to the end of this broadcast. We want to tell you plenty thank you. Of course, today we get some people that will watch the debate from all over the place. And we appreciate you all for what we watch, what you broadcast now. So today, of course, let me see if I can get some people to actually talk about as far as this debate is concerned. Plenty people that watch debates of the debate today. Of course, I got my own sister Martina Hawakaba of New Jersey, Hawakaba Kakai of New Jersey. Thank you for the comment, for watching. Of course, Fatima Nur Diment, thank you very much. Richard Ngaujia, of course. Nauma, we just talk on the air. Thank you. Kefala Kosia, Kefala, thank you for your response and your contributions. We appreciate you so much for watching. Macmillian Carter, of course, Fatunya Lay, and so many other people that watch the broadcast today. We want to tell you plenty. Thank you for your time and for all that stick around with we as we continue for bring the program. And so on election day, we are going to be here live from the start of the day all the way to the end. We'll not sleep. This is now our own contribution to the country. And we get correspondents that we reporters then all over the country. They get for reports to we on which they go on Sierra Leone on that day. So now that make all they ask you if you get a chance, go to gofundme.com/SBN support fund. gofundme.com/SBN support fund and contribute anything we go and contribute so we're able to take care of business, right? And so once more, my family want for tell plenty thank you. Mina Ibrahim Sheriff, of course, I can't tell today from studio number 8 based in Houston, Texas. And of course, we will continue for bring this to live, right? So once more, stick around.
Abundantly clear is that the 10 years of APC misrule and economic mismanagement has definitely created considerable suffering for the people of this country.
With a shared experience, wide experience in managing the affairs of this country for over 40 years, I've been at the sharp end of the challenges and the policies we have taken as a country to move away from the shackles of the war.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, I joined politics to be able to create an inclusive, fair, free and just society in which every citizen can unleash their potential. My vision is to create a dynamic, expanding economy that will create jobs and wealth for the people of Sierra Leone, the youth, the women, the disabled, a country where the rule of law is respected.
Officially, my name is going to be changed in 3 weeks from Mohammed Kamarimba Mansoure to His Excellency President Mohammed Kamarimba Mansoure. I want to assure you, if you're the most fitted person currently here, the person that knows where to take Sierra Leone, the person who knows how to create opportunities for this country,
I stand as a symbol of injustice in Sierra Leone, as a patriot who has decided that the scope of work that was given to me once upon a time by the people of this great country defend and uphold the Constitution of this great nation. Having done that to my best aptitude, I have decided that no matter what are the consequences, I am ready to fight for the liberation of the nation. We have to establish a sincere platform on which we place our people, the center of national development, making them the ultimate beneficiaries of the process. We have to accept the Almighty God as the foundation and driving force.
Let me first of all express a history of AYV's biasness. First, you had an aspirant program where you relatively interviewed only 4 aspirants. I came to your management and brought that to their attention that we had more than 4 aspirants.